That's what it was all about, was legacy.
Yeah.
You know, like, they got names, Rockefeller and this one and that one and Gucci and Prada and this. We need to have our names on these buildings and these places. You know, so that's the only way to do it is to look at it like that. And if you look at it like that, then our names will be on those buildings. You know, I wear video music box, you know, all the time. He was like, yo, you gonna wear video music box? Yeah, this is me.
I need one of those, bro. I need to rock that.
I need one too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No problem.
It's Hoffa, trapper turned smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard. Told Jim I need a bomb I could drop on you niggas. Bad boy, I'm never gonna stop for you niggas. I don't give a fuck who you got is the illest. I solidify my spot with gorillas. Now I'm rock with you niggas.
Who's sitting wait for, you know, the basement or video music box or yo or whatever it was, and be like, you know, this is where it's gonna pop off at, you know.
Right.
And so, and you would wait. And so that particular time, before that, people were making videos, but not as much as when my show came about, because there was a reason to make a video once Video Music Box came about, for even an independent label.
Because it wasn't getting played.
Right, because it wasn't getting played nowhere.
Anyplace else. I remember Michael Jackson went through hell trying to get his stuff played on MTV.
So, you know, like Russell, Run DMC, you know, he was like, that was his goal, to get to MTV.
Right.
You know, or some of the more independents like Cold Chillin' with Kane and G-Rap and, you know, them dudes. I remember Magic, Mr. Magic and Fly Ty from Cold Chillin' coming to my office and be like, what is this? Like, how are you doing this? They thought it was white people behind it. I'm like, nah, this is me. This is it. This is what we're doing. And they looking around. I'm like, who y'all looking for? There's nobody else here.
They looking for Mr. Schwartz.
Right. There's no Mr. Schwartz. This is it.
Right.
And so then that was the beginning of, you know, me and my partner Lionel working with them and doing all of those Kane videos. You know, a lot of the G-Raps.
What was the first video?
The first video we ever did was Roxanne Shante. Oh, a hip hop video. It was Roxanne Shante, Roxanne's Revenge. Wow. And that was like no budget. You know, it was like, where's Marley? Get Marley and get Shante. And I started out as a DJ. So, and I lived in Queens, so I used to have my DJ equipment set up in the basement. We had a basement and I have it on the bar. Right. So I said, we're gonna set it up just like we have it in the crib. And so put the equipment on the bar, and Shante standing in front of a mic, in front of the bar, and she rhymed. And Marley was behind her.
Scratching.
Like
that shit was dope.
And that was it.
Word, wow. Wow, from there you went to Kane.
Kane, Biz, all the Biz videos. Biz was next. And Biz, you know, so, Just a Friend, that was a big hit.
Huge hit.
Huge. And all of his, you know, The Biz is Going Off, all of those videos, you know, just It's Spring Again on the golf court, all of that shit. Yeah. You know, then he said, well, I got Kane. And then Kane came and we did Ain't No Half Steppin'.
Okay.
We did, bunch of shit for Kane. Then G-Rap came. Then we did some more shit for them. We did the Symphony. We did, Self-Destruction.
Self-Destruction.
Yeah, we did that.
That was big.
in Schaumburg.
That was big.
Yeah.
That was like the We Are the World.
Right.
For hip hop.
Definitely.
Yeah. I feel like we're missing that right now. You know what I mean? That unity.
Yeah.
That was another thing. I feel like you were able to bring a lot of people together.
Yeah, I think because everybody, it wasn't corporate yet. You know, in the 80s. It wasn't corporate yet. So
break that down.
Meaning that we could all talk to each other and have a conversation like in a barbershop like we in right now and go, all right, we're gonna do it in 2 weeks. And we did it. Once it became corporate, now it's like, well, legally, can you do that? Can you, you know, or do we wanna do a record with somebody that's on Def Jam and somebody that's on Capitol and somebody that's how we divvying up all of this, because now you're thinking about money first.
Right.
When it was just the artist would be like, yo, I'm cool with that person.
Yeah, it's creative.
Yeah, and it's cool. We could do that together and it'll work out. Once it became corporate, it became nobody's talking to each other now. Nobody's talking. Everybody's protecting their own interest.
Right.
And there's a manager, there's a bunch of other people that are labeled that I don't know what they do. And there's just all of these people.
A bunch of middlemen.
Right.
A lawyer.
When
did you notice the shift?
The shift came, I feel like,
what year?
93, 94.
93, 94?
Yeah. Like when Nas and Wu-Tang was there, that was organic. That's me and Nas getting on the phone and talking to each other.
Right.
Wu-Tang, me and RZA talking to each other. Y'all got this video, Cream, I need you to direct it. Bong, you was playing Protect Your Neck, Crazy Ralph, you broke us out. I'm gonna show love back.
Right.
Okay, send me the cassette, or whatever it was, the CD. Bong, I go, all right, no problem. Once you get to Puff and Big and that, it's a little different. It feels different. The energy's different for me and for others that were in my position, like, especially in media.
Right.
Because you had black PR firms back then, you had black magazines, you had, Video Music Box, you had all of these folks, photographers. Now you got, only people that are part of Associated Press can come to this event. Because Schwartz is running that.
Because Mr. Schwartz is in play now.
No disrespect, but it's the facts.
Yeah.
And they're running it. There's no black people over there, there's no Puerto Ricans over there, there's nobody knows. So then, they catching the heat. So you hire that one black person, or you hire that one brown person, and now that brown person is flossing on you.
Right, he's the representative.
You know how it is, Ralph. We trying to, what? Bro, we've been here for 10 years. That's how it got to this point, Yeah, I get it. OG. This thing start talking that OG shit.
Yeah. Ralph doesn't like the OG shit, all right?
That's
crazy.
But this is what was going on, and I also feel that they also took. There's good and bad out of the managers that were.
Can I get some lemonade, man?
That were doing the how can I say, managing some of the artists, street cats. We knew them. Good and bad. There's good and some guys didn't know. But you needed that muscle to walk up in the office with.
Right.
Why was
that necessary?
Because they had muscle, and you didn't know it. You thought it was all lily white.
The white people had like muscles.
Yeah, they had money.
Yeah, so they got muscle.
Okay.
Right. You got money, you got muscle.
Yeah. So now, a guy like Suge Knight plays a position because they like, we scared as hell of this motherfucker. Give them motherfuckers what they want.
Right. Leave them up.
Now you take that dude out the picture now because, look, bro, you can't, that's not gonna work. That Suge Knight, that muscling thing, that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
So you get you somebody that looks like them, a little bit more, he could be black, but he's just cool. He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Now they took the muscle out of you. And that was a big change in the business because now you don't have that. There's good and bad that comes along with it. There's the muscle part. There's also the part that, yo, bro, like I need to get my money. Like, can I
where's my money?
Where's my money? Office hours is between 9 and 5.
Oh man! Hold on.
Monday through Friday,
right?
Let's hold
Big
it right
Red.
there. Let me set this off. All right, we back. My expert opinion episode. What's this? 105. 105. We here. If you're watching for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click on all notifications. Hit the like, hit the share. Let everybody know you in here. Of course, you know paper, unless you's a mother hater. Now, we're working on this A&R project. There'll be more details as far as that goes. And Leave in the comments anybody else that you'd like to see on the show. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Man. Shout out to everybody.
Houston ready for us.
Of course, yes, they are. Got my man Heineken in
Brooklyn.
the building. Sean Bigger.
God body.
My guy Esso.
Southside Jamaica Queens in the building.
When I say, this is a moment. This is a real moment for me, because
Take your time, brother. Take your time.
yeah, every day I went to 210 junior high school.
You taking it.
210 was crazy.
Yo.
It was crazy. I made it home with my JanSport. Still had my strings.
The strings.
I made it home with my
strings.
strings. Made it home with my strings. Threw my book bag down in the corner. Turn on the TV. There was the Disney afternoon. Then there was Batman at 4:30. And at 5 o'clock, we actually went there at 4:58. Every day for years. To see what hip hop has become. And to know that was the primary platform of where everybody was looking to see who was who, what was going on. I think that you're not only a pioneer in this, but if we removed this man from the culture and his contribution, we might not have the culture that we have at all. We got Ralph McDaniels.
Salute, salute, salute. Salute. Thank you, sir. It always starts off like that.
Yo, I love that, man. You never changed it. I was like, yo, it's great.
Big up to Houdini. That's 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini.
Thanks, yeah. Oh, man. So we're gonna keep that conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that shift.
Yeah.
There was a lot of things going on. I always look for a good way to kind of start the show off with a question that kind of catches people off guard. Did you ever want to punch somebody in the face after you saw Yo MTV Raps? Just a question.
You know, people ask me that a lot. Nah, not really, because I went to MTV first.
Right. 2
years before Yo came on and said, yo, y'all should do a rap show. And they were like, no way. Middle America is not ready for hip hop. You trying to scare our audience away. Because you gotta remember, they playing, you know, like Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi and you know, and all of that stuff and Madonna. Right. And these hip hop dudes is gonna scare everybody. And I'm like, that's not true, because I had footage of this thing called the Fresh Fest. And I took it there and it was a mixed crowd. Right. You know, it happened in Long Island, but you had white kids, Asian kids, Latinos, blacks, everybody's in the mix. And they all know the words and they all look the same, fresh gear, everything's hat to the back, and they reciting the words from Houdini to Run DMC to LL. And so I said, nah, I saw it. In fact, I got it on tape, look at it. They were like, nah. So when Yo came on, I already knew this was gonna happen eventually. Right. When Yo came on, you know, of course your boys is like, yo, son, why ain't put you on, bro? What happened? Yeah. And I'm like, look, it don't even matter, because at that time I'm directing mad videos, doing other stuff, commercials and all kind of stuff that's, you know, pertaining to hip hop. Right. And I said, we got a national channel that's gonna be, a national show that's gonna be dedicated to hip hop. So for the culture, it's better. It was better. It doesn't, I was smart enough to know that this is a way bigger picture than me. Right. In the beginning, when I walked out of the office the first time, I wanted to punch somebody. Right. Because I knew, you know how like you just know, like, bro, this is it. And the dude who was talking to me was a dude that I knew. And I was like, nah, there's somebody else that I could talk to. Who else? Did you ask anybody else before you told me no?
No. No.
But once you did it,
yeah,
and it was a hit.
Yeah. Did
Channel 31 be like, yo, why is everybody watching at 5 o'clock? Everybody's just tuning in. What's going on?
The thing about Channel 31 is they didn't understand anything about Video Music Box, so they just left me alone. Yeah. they would, if they came up and started talking to me, like, Ralph, I'm sorry, we don't know anything about this. You do whatever you want to. And they would go back downstairs.
Right.
It was a PBS station, so you got like Channel 13 people who just they probably felt in the beginning this is our what we're giving to black people, and this is good. So if anybody comes up here and say we're not doing nothing for black people, we got Video Music Box. We don't know what they do over there.
Affirmative action.
But they're black and they're working.
That's crazy.
And we help them start working.
Exactly. Right. And we that's the first time they ever got any. Back then you used to have Nielsen ratings. And the labels used to go to me, so what are your Nielsen ratings? And I was like, I don't know. I never even saw a Nielsen. I never even saw a Nielsen
box. Did they ever show you?
To this day. It's supposed to be something that's in somebody's house.
I've never seen nobody with a Nielsen box.
Right.
They're a big mystery. They're supposed to be out in like way out, like New Mexico people who they say stay at home, blase, blah.
But somebody was getting the information.
Well, there's a book that comes in. I walked into the program director's office and he had the stack of the books that came in every week. He don't read them because we're not in the book that Channel 31 is. He said. So I start going back and I'm looking at the books and I'm going to where's my time slot? And I go to 3:30 or 5:30, whatever time we're coming on, and I'm looking, and then it said like 0.1. That was the only thing in the beginning. And I was like, wait, we got a 0.1. He said, you do? And I was like, yeah. I said, well, how many people is that? He said, well, that's 68,000 people. What? I said, 68,000? You talking about we ain't got nothing, Right. So I'm like, all right. So my goal in my head was to make that number rise.
Right.
And so I would come back every couple of months and go like, what's the number now? Then he'd be like, and I know more people watching now. I'm getting more celebrities. I'm getting bigger names.
Right.
I got to be more people watching now.
Right.
Oh, it's a 0.3. Okay, all right. Now I'm like, I got to get to a 1. If I can get to a 1, then I'm good, you know? And we got to 1.2. Eventually we got to 3.2, and that was second to Oprah.
You're second to Oprah?
Second to Oprah in our time slot. I still got the book at home. I got the paperwork.
That's an NFT right there, man.
Right.
Second to Oprah in your time slot.
In our time slot.
How was y'all making money off the shit?
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Yeah, that's what white people always ask. He's smart. Right.
Were you working a regular job? Because there was no blueprint to...
No, there was no blueprint to it. We would just... I used to watch the news. So anytime there was a black person on there, I'd be like, see how they presented stuff. Like ABC, NBC, CBS.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, I can't do like that. But that was the only thing that I saw. Or I saw Soul Train with Don Cornelius. Or I saw American Bandstand with Dick Clark when I was a kid. And so those were my only references. Or I listened to the radio. And so I tried to find who's Ralph McDaniel, how am I gonna present this? How are we gonna do the interviews? I knew how to get the production done because that's what I did before I did Video Music Box. I knew how to set up lights and cameras and do interviews and mic people and all that kind of stuff because I was an engineer. So that part I knew. Now it was like, how am I gonna make this entertaining? I just did whatever I saw up to that point. And I think that the artists really came in and made it entertaining.
Right.
It was, I always tell people, I try to stay out the way. You watch something and you like, the host is mad annoying. He's he's annoying. He's in the way.
Yeah.
Let
Ralph,
the artist
let it breathe.
That wasn't you, Ralph.
I wanted to, because first of all, I didn't even want to be a star. In the beginning, you never saw me. You just used to hear my voice.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't want nobody to know me. Nah, I was nervous. Like when you first started rapping, did people know that you rapped, or did you as the time?
I know you kind of told people you felt like you could tell. You know what I mean? Right. you was iffy, like, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing.
Right,
man. Though, yo, son, I wrote this down. Tell me what you think. I know what you're saying.
You know that part?
Yeah. Right. That nervousness, like, do I wanna?
Right, because if you're whack, somebody's gonna say you're whack.
When I DJ, I used to hate to talk. I hate talking on the mic. I used to hate it. I just wanted to spin.
Right.
And then I had to really learn to talk, and it was like a big breakout. One night I just went for it. And once I did that, it was like, yo, I'm ready now.
Yeah.
So that happened.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were somewhere, it was a Fresh Fest. And people were like, yo, I saw you. And I was like, oh, okay.
I like that.
And that's when it started to become like, okay, I can do this. Now I'm ready to get in front of the mic or in front of the camera, but I still didn't want to be overwhelming. I felt like the artist or whoever we was interviewing was more important than me. That's why people were watching. And that's the way I approached it, yeah. And I told young cats now, like, don't get in the way. You just here to manifest through the TV.
Right.
Right. You the conduit.
Don't get in the way of that.
Yeah.
Doing too much. Yeah.
But where did the money come from, Ralph?
Oh, back to the
you
money.
Tell me the money. Where the money
right.
come from?
So, I used to do DJ too.
Okay.
You're talking about DJing. So I used to DJ and I used to do parties. And the parties be jam-packed. There'd be like 500 people there. This is like back in the days, like 500 people was a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And so you'd be like, and then you getting like couple of $100 for that gig.
I'm sitting there because I'm like, yo, I was too young to go to those parties.
Yes.
I used to be watching like, yo, this mad
They
people
used to look crazy, man.
I can't wait to go.
So we realized that
Crazy.
all we had to do was put up a couple of $100 and we could give our own party. We didn't know that in the beginning. So we said, look, the promoters, once we realized, like, okay, they got 1,000 people here. There's $20 a piece, that's $20,000. We ain't getting $20,000. In one night, where are we getting $20,000 from? Let's try it. And we started giving our own parties. And them parties was packed.
From the popularity
of the show.
But
just by me saying, we're doing a party Saturday night.
Yeah.
Or we're doing a party for Easter. Get dressed up, and we're gonna have a party in the daytime for your kids. So you can come bring them dressed up.
2 for 1.
2 for 1.
Bang.
My man.
But you wasn't getting none of the TV money though? They wasn't giving none of the ads?
It was PBS.
No, it was PBS.
Okay, so there was nothing. That's what I wanted to know.
Yes.
So you used it as a platform and you parlayed the platform. I bet.
Yes.
That's incredible.
But,
okay.
Record labels would come all the time with the bag.
Okay.
And to me, record labels was like, I didn't trust them. And I was like, nah, I'm good. We never took no money from these labels because it was like, it's like the street. I'm from the street. I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from Queens. I know when it's somebody's like, if I take this money, you're gonna have, that means we have a relationship.
Shit, right. Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I don't wanna have a relationship. Like, we cool. But I don't want to have a relationship like that.
Yeah, right.
So I didn't take the money.
It should, something go wrong and you don't see the results you're looking for.
Right.
Then it's a question on my side, or you're going to keep opening up this door.
I did plenty of parties. I remember dudes like...
what was the most money label ever offered you?
I remember my man, he used to answer the phone all the time, and he was telling me like, oh, they wanted... I don't know if it was Universal or whatever. Maybe it wasn't Universal back then. But he was like, they got 25 grand for you just to play this particular video. And I was like, nah, I can't do
What year was this?
That was in the late 80s.
I would have took that.
That's a lot of money.
I would have took that 25K, believe
that's
that.
the equivalent of what, 70,000?
This is the difference. But this is the difference because video was considered pop. Like if you were in a video station, you were considered, it was pop money. So you talking about Bruce Springsteen and Bon Jovi money.
Right.
That's the way they put you in that category. Hip hop was mostly going to radio. So they were going to like Red, Chuck Chill Out, Molly Marl, others that were doing it at the time. It was a much smaller budget. When they came to video, it just automatically put you in this level.
Place. Yeah.
So I wasn't associated with none of the black promotion people because I wasn't in radio. I was in video.
Right.
So the bag was much bigger. It was a much bigger bag
for video.
For video. You were going, little conferences, flying you here and this and that. There was a lot more going on than just having some free drinks at some bar on 30-something street.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was a different type of different.
You evolved the side that you're talking about was just drinks and stuff because of what you did.
Right.
The money started to trickle down too.
Right. True. Right.
Because once you put that video on that platform and they had a place for it to go, now this is even more valuable now as well because I have a place for it to connect. Yep. I got a conduit to make it boom.
Right.
So now you can't just take me to dinner and drinks. Now you gotta slide me something too.
Right. We gotta open it up, and so I'm bringing the artists and whoever else is involved in it. The directors. I'm directing. My partner Lionel's directing. We got Hype Williams. He's our assistant. He's the next big guy.
Hype Williams.
Yeah.
Was your assistant?
That's crazy. I never knew that.
Queens. I'm originally from Brooklyn, and then we moved to Queens.
Okay, that's where.
No. He said Brooklyn. He said Brooklyn.
Oh, okay, wrong.
Leave it right
Queens
there.
side,
Then we
bro.
moved to Queens.
Stick to the Queens side, bro.
They call it Shadyville now, but it's Queensville.
North side.
North side, Queens.
And so, Hype is from from Linden Boulevard, right?
St. Albans?
Yeah, St. Albans.
Wow.
And I used to pick him up, and he was in the art department. So like if we need you to paint this wall and change this stuff around, move this furniture around, and so it's like that. So by the time we come in with the cameras in and move in and the artists or whatever we were shooting, then that was all set up, and that's the department that's the area that he worked in.
Right.
And then one day he was like, "Yo, man, I want to direct," and I was like, "All right." And I gave him this video by Duck the Boys in Blue by oh man, they're gonna kill me right now. Oh man,
Boys in Blue,
man, Fuquan from the Bronx. And so, whatever the case is, we did the video, and they wanted me. Like they were like, "No, Ralph, you got to do it." And I'm like telling you, this kid Hype, he got a little eye. There's something there. Like it was obvious that he could see something.
Right.
And then we did it, and that was it. He was on his way. He started doing more videos. Eventually, he started his own company, and that was it. The thing with Hype was that he would go over budget on everything. That's what happened with Belly. Mm-hmm. He went over budget. Hype would go over budget on everything, and I'd be like, "Yo, Hype, you can't do that, bro. Other people have to eat, man. You eating, you running through everybody's money.
Right.
You going way over budget, And you can't do that because first I gotta eat. You ain't gonna take my money. And so, but all of the people they out there for 20 hours with your ass shooting on, somewhere and wherever you're shooting at. And we just needed, just calm down. And he was like, "No, I'm just being creative, man. I hear you, but you can't do that. It's not right, And so
Hype had. Okay, just to give you a glimpse of what that looks like, Jay-Z rented a huge yacht for Big Pimpin'. Yeah. It's like $1 million rental or something.
It was some bread.
Nas and Diddy had on minks with a tiger in the club.
And then it was on top of the bodega too, which was crazy.
On Linden Boulevard. That's why he shot it there.
He's the king of going over budget. He does it well.
We need a tiger.
He does
who
it well.
says, "Yo, we need a tiger"?
Right. Shout out to Hype.
We need a tiger. You know what I mean?
Don't forget
the fire. There was fire.
And the fire.
Oh no! Didn't he do the Busta Rhymes and Janet Jackson?
Right.
2-point-something million.
By far, one of the greatest hip hop directors, or one of the greatest directors of our time.
Yes.
all time.
Salute to Hype. Salute to Hype.
Legend.
But
Incredible.
for me, I was like, bro, you have to, be mindful of your money, of everybody else, because you're being selfish by doing that. If you're not, and look, plenty of times I want to get out there and keep shooting and have a helicopter shot and we landing in Times Square and all that.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
yeah.
So, but that was our creative space. Those were the people that we were having around us. Juice and all those people that ended up working now at BET. Even I think the girl that runs BET, she worked with Hype. I can't remember her name right now.
Not Deborah, right?
Nah, there's another girl from Queens. She runs BET now.
I need to know
she's
her.
the one. That's how Irv and them got their deal. Irv Gotti and all of them.
I need to know her.
Yeah.
She from Queens. Call me up.
Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop.
Love and Hip Hop.
Did she work on? Did she produce Love and Hip Hop?
No.
Talking about Mona?
You
Okay,
talking
not
about
Mona Scott. Not Mona Scott. Okay.
No, I'm talking about the head of BET.
Right.
right now.
Wow.
And so,
but they got this start.
It's all comes from the same energy.
Queen's cloth.
Yes.
The same Queen's cloth.
Yeah.
There you go, Ralph. There you go.
No. Queen's got the money. Let's not get it twisted.
That's a soundbite. Let's not get it twisted.
Oh my God.
We gotta know.
Oh man.
You was talking about
too
the
hype, man. Chill.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
You was talking about radio, and you starting off, your energy, your name is big. When Hot 97 was coming together, they never approached you saying, we need Ralph McDaniels on one
Not
of
in
these.
the beginning. I did work there later. Yeah, I worked there. I actually worked at Hot for 10 years, but I was on the weekends, so nobody knew it.
Okay.
And so, but it was fine for me because I could still do my thing, traveling and directing and doing everything else.
Right.
But Flex had saw me one day. He was like, yo, you never thought about being on the radio? And I was like, not really. He was like, man, you need to be on the radio, bro. We need you. Now, Hot, Video Music Box made Hot 97 hot.
Right.
Because Hot 97 was cold when it first dropped. Nobody was listening to Hot 97. I don't know whether they was listening to BLS, Kiss, or whatever.
Right. Kiss, 98.7.
98.7, yeah.
I'm looking at it. Flex is a dude that is he's one of the top DJs at the time, and that's why they hire him. He's the first hiree at Hot 97. I go, man, Flex is doing this thing. He's also doing parties with us. I know him through Chuck Chill Out. That's Flex's, protege.
Right.
I mean, that's Chuck's protege. Is Flex.
Right.
And so Flex is doing all the clubs. I'm like, he's the hot dude out there. He's doing this thing. I'm like, yo, I'm giving parties. Once again, I go back to that. We need Flex to do some parties for us. Flex is doing parties. Flex gets hired at Hot 97 or Hot 103 actually at the time.
It was?
And yeah, because it was like a freestyle record station.
Right.
And so Flex is playing freestyle records and slipping in hip hop records. Then it's going more to hip hop.
What's a freestyle record?
Like
Wonder
if I take you home.
Oh, that's a freestyle record.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. I didn't know that was considered a freestyle record.
out in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, yeah.
Okay.
It was,
Right.
breaking the
Yeah.
I learned,
the
okay,
Bronx.
bet. All right,
So Flex then goes on to become, the poster child of this station, and which he should, because he was at the time he's that dude,
Right.
and he's focused. He's understanding how to make records. He's working at a record label. He knows how to get it going. I go, man, we need to get Flex in the mix of everything that we're doing. Flex, we're gonna come up to the station, and we're gonna bring the Video Music Box cameras up there. Once again, we want to get those numbers up.
Right.
Wherever's popping off at, we want to be there.
Right.
Flex goes, all right, cool. Flex says, yo, it's cold out here in the streets for us, Ralph. We did an event, 50 people showed up. I said, all right, well, we'll do what we can to help. And we go on. Angie Martinez, she's a little girl. Big Dennis, they kids. And we're all kids. And so it pops off. And then Flex told me this later on. He said, man, do you know, after you came there, the next time we had an event, there was 300 people there. He said, Ralph, you brought us, and management didn't really notice. They just figured they was doing something right on their side. But it was a video show that was so popular, that little moment made it pop off.
Right.
And that's what was the fire that Hot 97 needed to get going a little bit. It would have happened anyway, I believe it would have, because hip hop was growing, the artists were growing. But I think that it made it a little bit easier, and because the streets were like, what's Hot 97? Okay. Right. Ralph was there.
Wow. Yeah. If you really look back, wow. I mean, that's just, it's incredible when you think about the impact that this show had on this whole culture and the growth of it. You were like the tastemaker.
I guess it was just me, what I liked. I played some weirdo shit sometimes, and people were like,
what was the weirdo shit?
It could be some punk rock, whatever, that I saw, and I went somewhere to the club downtown.
And you was like, I like this.
This kind of hot. Let's see what happens, And people would go, that's how we started Nervous Thursdays with Crazy Sam. Because it was called Nervous because it was nervous. The music, I don't know, it's just
I don't know, it was nervous.
And Sam would be like, yo, man, give me some real shit, Ralph, man, because this is some weirdo stuff you keep giving me. That's why I call it Nervous Thursday. You're crazy. It all mixes up together. All right. But that was the whole idea. And, and some of the stuff became, it became hits. Anything, like hip hop, the sound of it changes every couple of years. Some people say it's every 5 years or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, when it's changing, it sounds weird. By the 5th year, it's not weird anymore.
Yeah. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Right.
That's why I always, a lot of my peers be like, oh man, I can't stand this new music. And I'm like, this new music, you don't know where the potential of this is going to go.
Where
this could be some
at.
incredible, most incredible
That's what we spoke about yesterday.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I'm not 20, I'm not 15 years old, so I don't even understand what y'all are talking about. But I'm pretty sure there's something that y'all can communicate with.
Right.
There's
something that you're getting out of this
right.
that I might be missing.
Right. And I'm cool with that.
Right.
But I'm just listening to it like a DJ for a vibe sometimes.
Exactly. And that's where I hear it at, and I keep saying sonically right now, I don't hear it. But we talked about Boogie being on B Love's record, and he brought a harmony to it, rhythm to it. So maybe where they're gonna go is, if they go that route, then it might be something bigger. You know what I'm saying? And maybe if they hear drill on beat,
right?
Why do we think that drill has to be off beat? It can be on beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think part of that is like the culture's not outside no more. You know what I mean? You sharpen your weapons outside in a cypher, corners, open mics, showcases. You don't see these things no more. So it's a lot of time it's like somebody rapping in their house and then they go to the studio. You know what I mean?
Fact.
It never got to, where you're gonna, I like what he did with this guy's nice. I can learn some things from him. You know what I mean?
I can't wait
They're not
till
getting
music. I can't wait till music goes back to collaboration again. That's when I feel like it was at its best, when you had the real producers and the songwriters, when you had other rappers even just coming to your session, bringing their vibe to it.
Rap is about music. It isn't necessarily about music anymore. It's about money.
Yeah.
It's about likes. It's about views.
Right. It's a vibe.
Yeah. It's not. That's why these kids is talking about, to me, like, dissing, South Side, or dissing Brooklyn, or dissing in Flatbush and out there with with those kids out there. It's crazy, and everybody gets excited. It's like a fight after school. And then, but the person that's making music and, sounds nice, nobody's paying attention to that. Like my man G would say, bad is good now, so anything bad is good. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, if you do something bad, all of a sudden everybody's excited and they want to see it.
Yeah. Well, they at one point people looked at hip hop like that. Like hip hop was bad.
Right.
What was the vibe like back then? Like
nobody wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
Black folks in position hated hip hop music.
Why do you think that is?
Because it wasn't Stevie Wonder on piano. It wasn't Earth, Wind & Fire doing the vocals.
That's what we talked about yesterday.
Jazz. It wasn't jazz.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't none of that. It was a DJ going, and some dude going, yes, yes, y'all, to the beat, y'all. And they were like, oh, hell no.
That's not real music.
That's not real music.
What we saying about drill music.
Right.
That's not real music.
Yeah. Imagine where it could go.
Right.
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 Point taken.
That was it. And so that's, when you first went to a radio, I was with Russell Simmons when he first took records to radio stations, black radio stations. And this is back then in the 80s, everybody looked like the Whispers at the radio station. Yeah. And so they'd be like, yes, brother, can we help you? What's happening, brother? What's good? I got my record, man, we put it on, boom, boom, back. And they like, no. We don't play
not
that.
this.
We don't play that. We don't play that.
So who was the first dude that y'all took it to that took a chance on it and played it?
Yeah.
The first person, let's go back to the Sugar Hill Gang. Back in the days, rapping, what's the name of Sugar Hill Gang record? I'm old, right? I don't even remember that. But whatever the case is, KTU played that record first. KTU was a disco station. The reason why they played that record first, because it sounded like Chic Good Times, which was a breakbeat with singing on it, produced by a big disco group, big disco group, Chic, Now Rogers. And that's why they played it, because it was like, oh, this is like an extension of that, and it's rapping. And they put that, and that's what broke that record. Immediately after that, WBLS was like, whoa, we gotta play this record, because there's no way this dance station can beat us to a hip hop record. And we're aware of hip hop, but we're just not playing it. So immediately they had to start playing that record, like right behind that, you know. So, that was the beginning of black stations going, okay, because there was no hip hop station.
At all.
Now you got a 24-hour hip hop station. That didn't even exist. Now kids don't even listen to radio stations anymore. Which is, now a computer is controlling what people, we would like to believe a computer is controlling.
Exactly.
Right.
Pay attention.
What kids are listening to.
Right.
But they can tell you anything now, you know, because you don't see these people in the clubs. No. They're not going to the clubs. They're not going to the showcases. They not, you know, at Smack. You know, they not at none of that.
You can't even ask somebody, yo, Spotify, why you keep sending me this record?
Right. Because somebody paid for it. People sometimes get me mixed up with The Box. There was a channel called The Box where you used to pay.
I remember you used to pay, and then a video would pop up and all that.
In the beginning, it was pure. It came out of the South. And it was kids, that's why the first videos that you started to see a lot of was artists from Florida, Miami, Atlanta, Alabama, Louisiana, all those artists, that was, boom, they were like, I never even heard this. Who's this dude?
Right.
You know, MC Shy D, Luke, this one, that one. And that's how that channel got started, because it was really a South thing.
Right.
Once the labels figured out that, oh, so you just have to pay for it, and okay, so I'm gonna give you $10,000 and just sit there and
play all the stuff I want.
Play all my stuff on my list.
Play Aaliyah, because Aaliyah dominated the box for a minute.
Because I knew companies that existed that was their job.
Right.
I'm like, what do y'all do? Like, all of a sudden, y'all just popped up and y'all it's popping over here. What y'all do? Well, you know, we're the ones that pay for the channel. We're the ones that are
facilitating.
You know, making the Aaliyah pop up all the time.
To facilitate that.
Right. You know? And so that's been happening since before, you know, likes being bought and views being bought and all of this, you know,
thank you, Ralph.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ralph.
So as a tastemaker, being that you didn't take the money, what kind of a...
I'm not, I should be, people go, you should be a millionaire. And I'm going like, well, maybe we should have been more creative in how to spend that money at that particular time instead of taking it. Now people have gotten more creative. Back then I was like, I don't have nothing to do with it, you know. Right. But people have got more creative. So you're not walking up to the radio and say, yo, man, I got a bag, and handing it to, you know, whoever.
Yeah, speak to the marketing team. Yeah. Right.
That's me.
I'm having a birthday party next week.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I need to pay for it.
Yeah.
Bring me 10 TVs.
That's what happens now. Right.
Or like you said, they drop off the new Kanye sneakers.
Exactly.
No, 10 pairs of them.
10 pairs.
10 pairs.
Right.
A whole box of them.
Yeah. It's a gift.
It's a gift.
You do what you like with them.
What's a video you were really excited to like blast off? Like you sat there, you like, I got this verse, that heat right here.
Yeah.
A video viewer?
No, just a video like.
Just a video. Like back then, when people would give you videos or you would work on videos with people, what was the, your top 5, like, oh, this is gonna kill them.
Or you're just happy to drop this.
I knew anything Nas related, well, back then is, you know, like because I was working with Nas and I was getting it like right away, I was like, I'm killing him right now.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Yo. And I was saying this when I watched, we were talking about this earlier. When I saw that he directed the documentary, I was like, yo, this is crazy how things come full circle, because Video Music Box did a special on Nas. Before I heard a verse from Nas, they did a whole special. All my favorite rappers are sitting in a room like, he's incredible. Crazy
It was all the producers.
cosigns.
It was
Crazy
all producers.
cosigns.
It was Large Professor, Pete Rock, Q-Tip, LES, who's Nas's DJ at the time, and Premier.
I think did you have I'm drawing a blank right now. Drawing a blank. Cool G Rap, was Cool G Rap in that also?
No, he wasn't in it.
But people were comparing him to like Rakim and all that. And you're like, who is this person?
Was Large Professor there?
Yeah, Large was there, yes.
Okay, I was gonna say Large had to be there.
It was fire.
Extra P.
That's how I met, that's the first time I ever, if you go online and you look up Large Professor live at the barbecue, the first time you ever saw it, them performing, there was no video for it.
Right.
I taped it at this party. And so you see, this little kid in the back pops up out of the crowd, because Queens was coming with mad people to, it was somewhere in Manhattan. So they came and then boom, Nas pops out and does his verse on Live at the Barbecue. But like Akinelli's on that, and Fatal, and Large. And so, it just stood out because he was young. Like, it's just, he didn't have his mic game really ready yet.
Right.
But he
was saying some stuff.
But he was he was right.
12, went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Like,
and then Chubb Rock's song. He was it was so many things that he was put in the position for, and I met him through Search, because I'd done all of these. We had done all these. Me and my partner Lionel, I can't forget. Lionel Martin was my partner at this time, and he was the vid kid from Video Music Box. And he was directing a lot of the videos that we were doing. And he had done the third base stuff. And Search was like, I got this kid named Nasty Nas that we were trying to get him out. You heard about Nasty Nas? And I'm like, yeah, but I really don't know.
Right.
But I'm curious because Search said it.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, let me figure out who Nasty Nas is. And so then we started looking and we figured out, okay, this is Nas.
What was the first record you heard?
It had to be something. It had to be Live at the Barbecue.
But I mean, aside from that, the first Nas record.
Probably some freestyle or something on some. Because I was still buying vinyl back then, and so they were, I don't even know if Cormega was out then. Was Cormega out? No,
Not yet.
So that's later. So, or something that Marley played because it was Queensbridge, so Marley had access to those cats, and Marley would play these freestyles that nobody else to this day has.
Right.
And so, and I was like, okay, the raspy voice, you got it. It feels street, it feels hard. And that's my favorite. People ask me, what's my favorite era of hip hop? Because to me, that early 90s was real. Like, the records sounded like what was actually going on in the street. Like, I could listen to it and look outside and it's right there.
Yeah.
It was like the 80s was a little different, the late 80s. Now, then you got into like, the KRS Q-Tip, medallions. Everybody wasn't doing that. That was an idea, but not everybody. There was some that was doing it. I was doing all the X-Clan videos back then. Mm-hmm. I did every X-Clan video.
Shout out to X-Clan. With the king.
With X-Clan.
Yeah.
Sissy.
Yeah.
Love that.
And then came Wu-Tang. So like immediately as I'm finishing up all the X-Clan stuff, Wu-Tang comes into play. And I go to Park Hill in Staten Island, and I'm like, this is different out here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is like East New York. You know?
Right. The whole people live here?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, be careful.
Yeah.
And and it was also a extension of what Rakim had done with the 5%ers. So now we brought that into, like I'm friends with Kane, with Rakim and Kane, and brothers from Jersey City, who was 5%ers, and then here comes Wu-Tang, and so it's all an extension of something that I'm familiar with. So I'm like okay, this is gonna be good because everything that comes out of this is knowledge. This is gonna be good.
Yeah. Right.
We talking about knowledge because anybody that's building and they dropping jewels on people, it's gonna work.
Right.
As long as it gets enough promotion.
Right.
It's gonna work. And that's what Wu-Tang was to me. And in the beginning, people didn't want to hear Wu-Tang. People uptown was like, I ain't got no time for that, man.
What are you talking about?
What they talking about? Right. What they talking about? They got kung fu sounds in the record.
I'm not gonna front. I didn't want to hear him the first time I saw them rock was at Jones Beach for the Greek Fest.
Oh, Greek Fest, yeah.
My man took me out there. I was like 14 years old. Shout out to Earl. Earl took all the young boys out there in this car like, you need to see what this is all about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I saw Wu-Tang come out and perform right there, right on that stage. And I was like, from there, I checked in for them right after that.
I think Fox used to play Kung Fu movies on Sunday.
Yeah.
I love that shit. So when I heard Wu-Tang, I was like, oh, this is great. 2 things I love in one. I know these movies. Like the little quotes they was taking from like Crying Freeman and all that stuff. I knew all those movies, so I was like, yo, this is dope. It's fire. It had a different meaning for me.
What was it like when Protect Your Neck hit the streets? Because living it was different, because I remember going to school and watching girls in my class drawing the Wu-Tang logo.
First of all, when you pulled up, you was like, there's how many members?
Right. So the story is when RZA comes to me, because RZA's not giving you that type of music prior to Wu-Tang.
Right.
It's Prince Rakeem.
He's Prince Rakeem. Oh,
Prince
I love you, Rakeem.
Right. It's Mad Happy.
Right. Right.
And so you're like, okay. So then the next time I see him, he's like, yeah, I got something new. So I was like, all right. I'm expecting this Prince Rakeem, Right. And so I put it in. It's like, was this the same person rapping? Nah, we got Mad Chambers, son. I'm like, what? What just happened? And I'm like, what just happened? Well, RZA, I switched it up, right? I switched it up. So I'm like this, okay. And so it was a whole different RZA. It was a different part. Well, yeah, it was a different presentation, let's put it that way. And so that was like, okay, it didn't exist like how they were doing it. But once you got into the lyrics, and Wu-Tang was something that I had to listen to over and over again, because there were certain things I missed. I was like, let me listen to that again. What did he just say? And so I had to go back, which I thought was kind of dope that I had to go back and listen to it again, because I think that I know everything, and I'm like, I don't understand what he's saying right here. So, which was fine, which made it, I don't know, for me, as a consumer of hip hop, right, or of anything.
Right.
If I go to Disney World, I'm like, what? Let's go on that ride again. Let's check that out again. What just happened? I'm just kind of like that. Like, I want to know more about it. I'm curious. And so that's what Wu-Tang was. And I think it was a slow burn in the beginning, because it was like, people were kind of like, okay, what's this? Ralph keep playing, he would play this thing every week. They didn't even have a record deal yet.
Right.
It was just RZA did it, made the song, gave me the video, and they didn't have no deal. It wasn't until like maybe, I don't know, less than a year that Loud Records pops up and says, we're gonna sign Steve Rifkin, who was a radio promoter. Last time I saw him, now he has a record label. And he goes, yo man, I'm trying to sign Wu-Tang. I said, that'd be dope, And next thing I know, I get another version of it and it says Loud Records on it. And so I said, okay, so I guess he signed them.
Dang.
And then immediately that's when RZA comes to me and says, yo man, I gotta do another video. You wanna do the video? I said, yeah. So he says, I'm gonna send you the song Cream. And I was like, all right. And I put it in, I was like, what? Casuals, everything around. Get the money.
So that's why you did the Coliseum block.
Right. No, that was Ice Cream.
Oh, Ice Cream, Ice Cream, I'm bugging.
Right, so I did Cream.
Cream and Ice Cream, yeah.
We did Cream was in.
My bad.
So, I'm a dude that pays attention to the boroughs. You know, Queens, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Harlem ain't really feeling Wu-Tang like that. We gotta take, cause all their videos is mostly shot in Staten Island.
Yeah, that's funny.
So,
and Brooklyn.
Right, in Brooklyn.
You hear Bargain Bazaar.
Right.
I recognize. I'm like, yo, he Bargain Bazaar right there. That's crazy.
So we gonna, so that cats like that, you are gonna be like, yo, they was in Harlem?
Word. They was in Brooklyn. They was in. Oh
Right.
wow.
So we, you know, Willie Burgers, the little, what? That was, wait a minute, that's uptown.
Right.
I told that to Raekwon years later. He said, oh, you had a plan? I said, yeah. I said, because I felt like when I mentioned Wu-Tang, or, I was somewhere and we playing Wu-Tang or talking about Wu-Tang, cats was like, no, I'm not really feeling it right now. And
it was for us.
And it was for a certain group who still ride with it to this day. And that was it. And then they came with Ice Cream when Purple Tape.
Right.
And it wasn't the Purple Tape yet, but it was gonna be. And and they, can you do Incarcerated, Scarface, and Ice Cream? That's a side, B side.
Right.
And so I did Incarcerated Scarface right here on First Avenue on 118th Street in Manhattan.
Wow.
And I did Ice Cream in Queens at the Coliseum because the Coliseum was hot.
block.
Yeah.
That's the block. That's the block.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody
Sneakers,
Right.
everything.
They had everything.
Barbershop, the chicks, everything.
Yeah. Queens was popping.
Woo,
and it was,
tell 'em, bro.
You go downstairs, everything you needed, the jewelry. Still to this day, they got the jewelry
everything
down there.
Yeah.
What's
Benny's.
Same thing.
Benny's was right down
Benny's
there.
pops off there.
Then the same sneaker spot is still down there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But how did you feel watching from where it started to now these groups that you're working with are selling millions of copies of their albums?
I thought it was good. I was proud to be part of it, in my own way. I was glad. I was glad up to the point we got to 94, where now we don't really have there's like a line that somebody's going like, what do you do again? Well, you don't know me, I'm Ralph McDaniels.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, my man. And now you got to go through this whole corporate thing. That's when it comes corporate.
Right.
And the artists don't know.
What's going on?
Yeah, they don't know what's going on. They just showing up, doing what they supposed to do.
Right.
They don't understand that there's a whole group of people that got you to this point that are not being part of it anymore. And it was obvious. And I lost interest in it at the time. I was like, I ain't with this.
Yeah. It started to get weird.
It started to be weird.
Yeah.
But we were there with Jay, I remember he performed the whole Reasonable Doubt at one of my parties. And I didn't even realize it till 10 years after that. I was like, he did the whole album. Like, that was crazy. He did 22 twos at the album.
Yeah. He did the whole joint. You still got this recorded?
I still got it, yeah. The content is crazy. And that was, Jay and, the Rockefeller thing and, Fat Joe used to hang out with us all the time. And I saw you at Remy. And I remember, Pun, and for the first time, Pun was in our showcase. It was a showcase we had. This is before he's Pun. This is when he's in the group. And it was right on 125th Street. And Crazy Sam had the showcase. And Joe said, yo, man, you gotta get my guy Pun, well, whatever.
Was it at the African,
Not the something 5. It was like the Apollo, but it's still there, but it's not a theater no more. Or maybe it is, but it doesn't look like it. I don't know.
It's on Fifth Avenue, right?
No, no, not that one. Like the block off from the Apollo.
Wow.
Not on Fifth, but yeah. And then we had it was they were like the Apollo back in the days, but then they kind of fell off. So they were like, what can we do? And we're like, yo, Video Music Box is gonna do a showcase here that'll help us bring it back up. Blah 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 blah. So we did it. It was packed every week, and Sam would have everybody in there. And that's where Pun really broke out of that. And then Joe, then they got a deal at Loud once again. Then I had, the thing too with the Video Music Box, I had the advantage on with other shows was that I stayed in them record companies, and working with those artists, I would find out who else was doing something new. So if I was at Loud and they working with Wu-Tang, Then they like, yo, we got this new Mobb Deep joint. Let me get that right there. Oh yeah. What's on? That's not really finishing. It's okay. Let me get that. It's okay. Right. I just need a minute.
Yeah.
And I'm good.
Yeah.
People are like, yo, they played the new da-da-da-da. Wow, Ralph, where'd you get that? You gave it to me. I asked you. We didn't know you was gonna play it. Oh man, MTV's mad at us. The MTV started blocking me after a while.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that happening.
Yeah.
Because for one, with all due respect, they kind of took that vibe.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nah, they it was gonna happen. Mm-hmm. They knew it, and they just saw it. They was able to watch it
and see it
in real time. It was like, we don't need a trailer. We don't need to create a demo. It's right there.
But I'm pretty sure they were getting those. What? Second to Oprah?
Yeah, somebody was. And that's the business part.
Right.
You know? That's the business part that's why if you're an artist, if you're a producer, director, whatever it is, and you go into these businesses and you don't have a team, you're in a bad disadvantage. Because when you go into these situations, there's 5 of them and there's one of you.
And the plan is in play from the time you walk in the door.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you gotta have your plan to counter their plan.
Right.
So you can have some type of medium where everybody can come to the middle ground.
Yeah.
Where it's gonna be effective and profitable for everybody.
Or know enough about your own worth.
Yeah, and we didn't know. I'll tell you, you come from an era where y'all had a better idea of what your own worth was by the time you get. We was just happy to get anything when we came up. Like, what? We can perform on this stage? What? We can get a TV show on TV? What? Whatever it was, you know. We were like, yeah, give them whatever. We're just happy. Look what just happened. You ain't getting no money for it. But look what just happened. That's the area that I come from.
Right.
So we didn't know our value for a long time. It took a while. Some of us, I still feel like I don't know my total value.
The totality of it.
Right, the totality of it.
Well, if you were to take what hip hop became after the appearance of your show, I'd say that could equate. And that's a huge number, in case you don't know.
And if you don't mind, I got to pause on that too. Because I know so many people is watching this that don't understand. This is like one of the father of hip-hop right here.
Yeah.
Hip-hop would not have became what it is now without this man. The shout out, which I scream, all of that, that came from this man. The filming of parties, that came from this man.
Yeah.
The interviewing of rappers, the finding self-worth to even put a rapper on
music
an interview
videos,
came from this man. If we do not document this, definitely, when you say you don't know your self-worth, brother, I was one of those little children that used to go home and hit the TV and put the hanger in.
Get it right.
It was different,
This was before MTV.
Yes.
So y'all know, MTV stole what this man was doing. So maybe we want to talk about that, why they didn't choose him, because they stole what he was doing. And this is where we get MTV, BET, and all of that. It started from the man that's sitting right here.
I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like you opened up the doors. You showed them what it was.
Yeah.
And
I believe so.
Once they saw that, what they did helped broaden.
The street was going to do it, regardless. It was like you couldn't front.
Right.
After a while, when was it going to happen? I don't know. It was going to happen. It was like just like how KTU played the rap record first, then all of a sudden BLS was, oh, we need that record, we got to play it.
Right.
And all our people who we looked up to, who we thought were these black, this is our people, was fronting on us, at these radio stations, at these TV stations, whatever. And you were like, I listened to this dude for years. I look up to this person. How is it possible that he's fronting on us that hard? Like, okay, we're gonna give you a record with some. You listen to the early records like Curtis Blow and them records. They had melody. You know, they weren't even.
It's like sing-song.
Right.
Yeah, like Nelly.
Yeah. You know, so they were made to fit into that radio side. You know, you can fit it in. It sounds like, you know, chic. It sounds like, you know, something that's familiar. You could dance to it. You know, like, you know, but nah, that rapping part. Take that rapping part out of it. That's the whole record. Like, it's a rap record.
Outside of New York artists, what was some of the biggest demands for other artists? Was it like, you know, NWA, down south dudes? What was people from New York hitting you like, Ralph, you gotta check in on these?
Yeah. The Luke parties were special. Remember when they had Luke at Trafalgar Square in Queens? Oh my word. They had Snoop at Trafalgar Square in Queens. That's when people realized that Snoop was big in the East Coast.
Snoop was big.
So Snoop killed Trafalgar Square. It was something special. Him and Luke.
And that was, you know, that was Southside.
That's Southside. It's Trafalgar Square.
If you went to Trafalgar Square, you pretty much, you better know somebody.
Yes. That was our joint, Trafalgar Square.
I'm sure that there's a bunch of stories that can come out of those times. What are your personal favorite moments? Maybe sometimes the funniest, or, you know, any moment that you would like to share from those times.
I remember when Jay-Z and Dame Dash broke up. I was doing a show on Sirius at the time. That's when Sirius first started. And there was no hip hop. We had a syndicated show that we just took to Sirius.
Right.
And they were like, okay, we can play it here. And I remember we had Dame, and it was like Dame Dash and Jay-Z, Rockefeller broke up. And I was like, how is this possible? Like, this is one of the best combinations of our era, the new era, that's ever happened. You know, there was Russells, but this is the new time, you know, and the Cold Chillins and all. And I said to Dame, like, what happened? He said, I don't know. He said, I know I can be an asshole, but I don't, you know, not to the point where we're breaking up.
Right.
And to me, Dame was the business behind what made, like, Jay-Z's an artist. He's not how he is now, is not how he was back then.
Yes.
You know, he was more of an artist. You know, like, he's the dopest artist back then when he's coming out, whatever. But Dame is the business. Like, hold up, my man got to get paid. What's up? My mom. Right. You know, Dame is jumping out front. He's coming with that Harlem.
He did marketing too.
Yeah.
He was marketing Jay like a mug too, boy.
He was, for a Harlem dude to invest in you like that, that means something. He knew it had value to him as well as the other guy and whoever else was around him. He only wanted, to me, to get the same deal that everybody else is getting. I wanted to be fair. Don't treat me like I'm these two little black dudes from Brooklyn and Queens, and from Brooklyn and Harlem. And so when it happened, you know, in the back of my mind, I was like, y'all gonna get back together. You know, it's just just something that happened right now. I'm pretty sure Jay, he's Brooklyn. He gonna do something like that's gonna be watched. Y'all gonna come right back around. And when it never happened, to this day, I'm like, I'm naive still to certain things because I couldn't see that happening. And I love Jay-Z. I'm a Jay-Z fan. Jay-Z's in my documentary, you know, and I respect him. I watched him come from Jazzo days in 85, 86, you know, come up and become who he is. And, you know, to that, it still bothers me that Rockefeller thing didn't come together. The other part to that whole story is when I did my documentary, Jay-Z was the last one that I interviewed. And I went to Jay-Z's office on, I don't know, it's on 30-something Street. And, not Jay-Z's office, Jay-Z's building.
His building.
And I looked up and I said, I understand what happened here. And I said, I understand what happened here.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's a business. I'm a businessman.
But maybe he became the businessman. Like, people evolve, and he woke up one day, and now he's a businessman, and now he's saying these are certain things that I want to do. And there was a lot of things too on business that people used to say, like Dame would bounce checks to people and stuff like that.
Everybody had their shit.
And that way, but then no, I'm saying, but then they would say that, you know, that's what people use to get into Jay's ear about how he wants to conduct his business on a grand scale. You know what I'm saying? So when you have those type of things and you got these people that are coming in there saying, now this pie can be your pie.
Right.
You don't have to bust this down no 3 ways. I can fix it. Whereas if you're prepared to say yes and no for yourself, we can give you this money.
Right.
And that and some people wake up.
Some people
and they say, yo, I'm gonna take that bread, and you know what? I've been wanting to do this for myself, and now's the time I'm gonna take the lead with my own stuff, and I'm gonna live and die with what I'm saying.
Right. And everybody's not gonna be like that.
Right.
Everybody's not, but some people are.
Brooklyn, most Brooklyn cats I know is not like that. So that's why when I looked at Jay, I felt like, that doesn't even seem like a Jay-Z move. Like, that's not how we do it. But I walked and looked at the building from outside when I went to and I said, I understand.
Since you split time in Brooklyn and Queens, I would assume evenly, right?
Yes.
What was the emotion going through when Jay and Nas was going at it, Ether, and these records? Because you personally known these guys. And how are you feeling? Are you excited for the culture? Is it hurting you? Is it emotionally stressful?
Yeah.
I happen to be, what was it?
Aside from that, like any other situations that you felt like, you know, I know both these brothers, maybe I could step in, I could say something and clean this up. Throughout the years, were there any situations that you felt a personal responsibility to step into the middle of it and be like, yo, this needs to be fixed?
In the Jay and Nas situation, no, because once Jay turned it on, I knew where it was going, you know, and that's one thing about him. That's to me, that's some Brooklyn shit. You know, like, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, gloves is off.
Right. So now, what people some didn't know was Nas is a clever motherfucker. And you might not have known how clever he was, you know? And so you saw that. So from a street perspective, people don't even get that part. They more get the movement, you know, the J, we moving like this, we pulling up.
Right.
You know? And I was like, yeah, go ahead, pull up. I ain't gonna be out there though when you pull up. If you want to. You know,
Nas is from Queens, that's what I'm saying. It's a difference.
Right, what I'm stupid? You know, I ain't gonna be standing out there waiting for y'all. So, but that was all going on, and at the same time, you know, everybody's growing. You know, Jay's making different deals and all kind of stuff. He's going from, you know, this deal to, you know, now he's a Def Jam deal. You know, Nas is going through all kinds of stuff, you know, in his personal life. And, you know, so I'm aware of everything that's going on. And I just felt like, you know, because, you know, Pac and Big.
Right.
We hope that I never felt like it was going to go to that point.
Yeah.
I feel like Pac took it a little bit too far with Big. That I don't think that there was anything, and we've heard this discussion before.
Yeah.
But out in real time, I felt like Pac was like
selling
hyping
records.
it up.
Selling records.
Yeah. And well, could be selling records.
Right.
Or it could be I'm better than the East Coast. You know? And that's fine.
I think for Tupac it was I have enemies out there. Clearly they want me dead.
Yeah.
And they associate with all of you.
Right.
So I have to crush everybody.
Right. And that was
his thing.
Yeah. That was it. You know, and he, you know, like, and Suge played on that, and that was it. Like, we got you. Come on, what?
Let's go.
You know, let's go. And unfortunately, the streets, you know, is what it is.
Did you catch any flack the first time you played the Hit 'Em Up video?
Yeah, people hated me for that. Ooh. Because we were doing what we were doing, you know.
Right.
Did Puff call you?
No, Puff never called me.
Okay.
But why do you think people thought that you wasn't gonna play? Because you're from New York?
Right.
Right.
And we already were, you know, quite out. I worked on Juice. I have a
You got a relationship
with Pac already.
Right.
Me and Lionel did a bunch of them videos for Death Row. You know, the
Word?
Yeah. With Corrupt and them dudes, you know, because we were the hot directors. Yeah, Dog Pound. And we were going out there and we were working with them then.
Right.
You know, I was with Suge, you know, like I didn't look at Suge as, you know, this guy. He was the dude who had the label.
Right.
I played football. I've been around big dudes all my life.
Right,
so
right.
I didn't look at it
Like, yo,
no type of way.
Right.
And so, yeah. So it was even. It was fair in how I looked at each other, and from Big to Pac. And I think that it was more like when it ended the way it ended. It was. I don't even think I realized how important that moment was. Those two artists being killed.
Yeah.
That would change everything. I didn't realize it, you know, because I'm coming from 15 years of hip hop before that already.
Right.
You know? And so I'm like, okay. And then when I look back and I see the body of work and I listen to the music and I listen to what these guys did and I go like, wow, what would it be like if Big and Pac were still here and making records with Jay, you know, and Nas? And, you know, what would that sound like?
Yeah.
You know, at 50-something years old, you know, however old they are. And so, you know, it is what it is, but
wow.
Yeah. It was bigger than I thought. But the fans knew how big it was.
Well, you said people hated you for it?
No.
They
It wasn't. Because they knew.
But they were upset.
They knew I was fair.
Yeah.
Well.
It was tight.
I used to play The Bridge Is Over. And Queensbridge was like, yo, Ralph, when we see you on site. And I'm like, yo, y'all know that record is hot.
Yeah.
Y'all know that record is hot.
Right.
Yeah, right, Ralph. Whatever.
We ain't trying to hear that.
Russ.
We ain't trying to hear that. We'll play that at the party tonight, Ralph.
Yeah, what up? Do you think now that you should have taken them 25,000s to play them videos when it, like, once that line crossed from 94 to 95
right.
and the gate was up now when you saw it was what it was really becoming, did you regret not taking that money that they was trying to give you back then?
Nah, we just figured out other ways to get money. You know, now we're getting into bigger production. We started doing commercials, we started doing more movies, you know, DVDs, remember official DVDs, we were doing stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just figured out other ways to get money, and that's what we moved on to. You know, I know what it is, you know, like in 85, 86 to be taking money from somebody that you don't know. Like, I'm not doing that. No, because I know too many people that ended up missing.
Because
like
of stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know what they did, but I don't even want to be in that world, what they did.
Yeah.
You know? It's
right.
like,
this is going to be like this every day until JB gets his money.
But you know, yeah, it's different now. Mm-hmm. What the artists have now is all of that we went through. You know, all of that stuff that we did, all that stuff we went through, all of that. Now they don't have to do that. They got it. It's theirs. They can go and go do stadiums and get paid $500,000 to show up and do a 30-minute show, and that's why we did it.
Right.
You know.
Right.
We thought it was gonna be for us to get it, but that's why this 15-year-old kid can get up there.
Do it now. Boom.
He got it.
He got the
He hit it. Do you find an issue with that it's a generation that's benefiting from something that you guys started, that, you know, is living in these multi-million-dollar houses, flashing all these cars? Because, like, I seen, like, Red Alert and Target, and Red Alert like you and him, it's the same.
I'm
like,
in Target too.
And,
right?
yeah, and I'm like, and nobody's in Target. Like they rushing by him, like get out the way. He's trying to shop for a deal, like, and I'm like, this is red alert,
right?
And nobody in Target knows or cares, and that's a concern for me, But how do you feel about it?
I started this thing, the Video Music Box Collection, and it was a nonprofit. And the reason why I did it was for these guys that make all this type of money. And this is a write-off for you. You want to support hip hop, you want to support what we do, which our whole thing is to bring it to the schools, educating in schools about hip hop curriculum, preserving this content, like we talk about Jay-Z had a thing. It costs a lot of money to do these, preserve all of this content. Like I have the same people that use NFL films. The NFL uses NFL films, doing my stuff. It's not like, okay, yeah, we can make a copy of that for $10. You're doing it at a high level, storage and
digitally remastered.
Yeah, remastering.
Because as I was watching the documentary, I was like, wow, this looks really crispy for the 92.
Yeah, that's what our work has been,
Right.
And so those guys, I would go and say, hey man, this is what I'm doing. We could really use your support. I'd like to sit down with your people, not even their people, but with them or their parents. And tell them what we're doing, and hopefully, they could see what we're doing and say, hey man, look, it's not.
I mean, I honestly think that's with all the rappers, all these multi-millionaire rappers.
Yeah.
I wonder every day how is Kool Herc still in Harlem?
Yeah.
Like
because once again, once those artists start making that money, you have those people that are padding outside, and they won't let you get into it unless you really know how to do that. When you get Kool Herc age, you get my age, you get Red age, like we ain't doing that shit.
Right. You chilling.
It's like, wow.
Right. You chilling.
We ain't doing all of that. Me, I'm a little bit more aggressive. I do it. I'm Red is too. Red is active, but it's not like we standing outside. Before we was like, I'll wait. I'll wait for an hour. I'll wait for 2 hours. Remember Hot 97? People would be outside. Papoose,
for hours.
Outside for hours.
That was a thing.
You gotta bring your bud and you gotta bring your drinks because you're gonna be parked out there.
Nah, it was for the amount of artists that would be congregating, everybody.
Yeah.
Them DJs would have to sneak into the back door.
Right.
All that.
Yo.
Open the back door. I was like, there's a back door? He said, yeah.
They're like, hold on, how Flex on the radio? How he got by us?
Right.
Right.
All right, we're gonna wait for he gotta come outside. Hold on. How can they Slay on the radio? We ain't see these niggas.
Yeah, they made it, they sent everybody a memo, like, no more artists can be outside.
Yo, that was a thing, yeah.
And that was a thing.
Wasn't that when Kim and them, allegedly,
No, it did happen.
shootout?
I was working that day.
Yeah, with the shootout with Kim and Fox.
It was me and Clue.
Hold on, what? Say that again?
It was me and Clue.
And
when that thing happened.
Thinking about it now, I kind of understand, because there were a lot of situations that happened outside of Hot 97 over, money that exchanged hands.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, because the people that own that building is the plumbers union.
Yeah. You can't even bring, if you try to bring a camera in, they won't let you bring a tripod in.
Right.
Because of the union situation.
Okay, I didn't know that.
The rules and stuff. They're like, yo, you got to be part of a union to bring a tripod in.
He knows a whole bunch
No,
of
when
stuff
I went
that don't nobody naturally know.
When I went to go do the Ebro,
I believe you.
Nah, listen, chill, don't do that.
I believe him.
No, it's not about. That's what they told me.
It's not about that. So he has a lot of information that people don't know, like the gourmet McDonald's.
Nah, I know.
They literally stopped us when we went to go interview Ebro. And I was like, what are you talking about?
That's a very powerful union.
Yeah, it's a strong union.
You got to submit your name the day before and all that.
Become a plumber.
Don't be a plumber. Stop robbing. Best and worst moments of Video Music Box.
When they sold the station is the worst moment. They sold the station. Giuliani sold the station.
He owned it?
Well, he didn't own it, but it's assets of the city, and they can make a decision. Okay, we'll get rid of this. And so they got rid of it. And they didn't do nothing with it. Just like they just turned it off. And it just sat there. And so we had to go find another place to be at. We were on Channel 31 at that time.
Right.
Then we went to Channel 25, but it took like, I don't know, like maybe 6 months or so to find another station. And then I was like, maybe I should go to MTV, you know. And I was like this, like, nah, they play me out if I come up there saying, hey, you know, can I do something here? You know, and I tell people, my pride is that's what got in my way at that particular moment. Because I was like, Ralph McDaniels, man, they should be, you know, they should be putting me on. No, I can't go up there because they might say no. And so
that messed with you.
It messed with me, yeah, got in the way. And so then eventually I went and got to another station. And, you know, I was still doing directing and doing other things, but Video Music Box is my heart, you know, because that's like more connected to the street, to the city. And so.
But by this time, like, the people who started to be in play due to the absence.
Oh, yeah. Now, you know, BET's in rare form.
The basement. Rap City.
Yeah. Tigger, you know. Tigger's killing them out there, you know. And others. And so, so we just were like, okay, I didn't know how much I was part of it till I stopped doing it. You know, like you don't know until you stop that, damn, I really like doing this. And this is part of my life.
My everyday routine.
Right.
Yeah.
And you don't know. It's like, I guess, a ball player. Anybody that does something every day, whatever, you go to work and then you retire.
Right.
You don't know what to do. People bug out, like, I got to do something.
Right.
So, boom. So that was a moment that we had to figure out what we were going to do. And then I guess the high points, I don't know, man. You know, there's been so many things that we've done. I think the documentary for us this past year was something, we worked on that for a long time. We had gone to various different situations trying to get that documentary out there. The pandemic was happening. People was dying. We was like, oh man, we gotta get this documentary out here. It's too much craziness going on. And now I'm at the point where it's about me. I've been taking care of everybody else.
Right.
That was about me. That was, and you know, you realized it when you got to that point, like, right. You know, like my boy was me. I wasn't in the documentary. I was like, it wasn't about you, it was about me.
Right.
Yo, but you know, I know you longer than you. I seen such and such up in there. I was like, I understand. It wasn't about you though. Nobody cares.
Right. Shut it down. So where's Ralph McDaniels headed to now?
More docs. So we have this is the first time I think I'm saying this to anybody. We have a deal that we can do with Showtime and others. You know, we still are. We originally we're going to try to do this with some other networks, and I think that whoever wants to do it, we down to do it because you know, like I got all the content. Come on, like stop playing. You know, like I got a couple of projects now that I know I was the only one there filming, and they're big deals.
Right.
And so, and I know the people that were there, and I can interview them, and we can make it a real big thing. You know, a premium documentary.
Because you pretty much own.
We own everything. Yeah. You know, I mean, if the music, you know. Yeah. I got you probably as a kid, but I don't own your music, you know. Like,
crazy.
You know? So I gotta pay you.
He probably does.
I'll be like, yo, need to use this song, bro.
Do you remember that night when I walked up to you and I was like,
yeah.
Yo, I saw Ralph. I was like, yo, it's Ralph McDaniels.
Hold on, you met him when he was a kid?
I gave myself a little pep talk. I was like, yo. And I walked over and I was like, yo, it's an honor to meet you. He was like, I just saw what happened with Solomon. And I was like, oh, he knows who I am, yo. It be those moments, like those, you gotta hold on to those moments. Those are good moments.
Absolutely.
No, I have to know what's going on. I mean, I'm not up on everything, but I felt like I need to know everything because that space was so exciting then. You know, I mean, it may be now, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But to me, it was super exciting then, you know?
Especially that battle with you and Solomon, because it was two different styles, two different cultures.
It's the merging of the worlds. It was like like the streets meet Scribble Jam.
Yes.
And Solomon, behind closed doors, always spoke very highly about
There's
you.
a documentary right there.
There it is.
We gotta talk
a good
after
one.
this. We gotta talk after
How do
this.
y'all feel about this new kid that sounds like old dirty bastard? You ain't hear the kid that's freestyling and he sound like him?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. That kind of came out of left field.
Really?
I'm just curious because he's here. And I thought people heard about it.
I know his son.
Yeah.
But no,
he don't sound exactly like him, but you could tell. You could tell, like
drunken style.
He got a new freestyle where he mentions the whole Wu-Tang and
that's
everything.
That's not a freestyle. That was all
written.
That was all planned out.
I don't know if because the freestyle changed now. It's written now.
It's a song.
It's just recited now.
It looks like a freestyle.
You know what I'm saying?
I like those two girls. Girl Code.
Oh, shit, you can't even make this up. Yo!
I'm promoting and marketing. I do the digital marketing for Girl Code. Please believe it.
Oh, man, I love them.
Wow. Hold on. Did we pay you to say that? Did we pay you to say that?
I didn't take the bag.
This is...
we ain't give you no bag for that.
This is organic right here.
Oh, shit.
I love those girls.
Yeah.
I think that they're dope. I'm like, I don't know if this is made up or not. Is it real?
No, they write their shit.
I just took them to the.
Yeah.
I actually just took them to their first strip club last night or the night before last, and
I followed them. I saw them
and they
throwing
kicked
money.
me out. I was there.
Yeah.
That's
They kicked
on
them
me.
out. Guess what they kicked them
me
out
for wearing a mask.
That's why. That's why.
Mermaids, you played yourself. You kicked me out for wearing a mask.
Wearing a mask.
In the strip club.
I tell you, I still got my mask. I'm an OG.
See, thank you. Wow, Girl Code. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Is the Video Music Box brand, is it gonna continue? Will we see like a revamp?
Yeah. NFTs coming soon. Yeah.
Wow.
Web3, Metaverse. I walked through it the other day. I was like, this feels good. Yeah.
Hold on, you walked through the Video Music Box Metaverse. Explain. Yeah. I want to hear that. You ain't hear what he's saying.
Through our friend Aaron?
No.
Okay.
No. But this is, okay. So like people that create video games and things like that, you know, I've been working on something for a while for me. And, you know, like, okay, what's up, man? Like, when am I going to see what this looks like, you know? And so I got a chance to walk through it and see what it looked like. It's still rough. But,
I mean...
Yeah, but it feels like, you know, you're at a party with me, or you're at, you know, on a set with me, or, you know, or in New York, you know.
Are you gonna have like parts of your verse where you're recreating 92 when you was with a young Hov?
Yeah, you could.
I do this.
No, you could do, well, it hasn't done it yet, but what I realized we could do is we could do 80s, 90s, 2000s, and maybe now.
Yeah.
So however you want, what you choose when you come in. You want to go in the 80s? All right, boom. And it looks
and
like
it's videos. Is it videos?
Yeah, videos
in there.
80s
people
parties.
are there.
Wow.
Cars are there.
Wow.
Sneakers.
The Saabs with the gold rims.
So back in the days, it's gonna be the old cars with the BBSs and everything on it.
Yeah, don't tell them too much.
He like, yo, come on, the documentary is on
Showtime. Or Amazon Prime.
Right now, you are watching Video Music Box.
Woo!
This is legendary.
Directed by Nas.
Directed by Nas.
Ooh.
Full circle. Beautiful thing.
You know what? I gotta ask him some ignorance. It's still within line. No.
We got time?
Where were you at when BET Uncut was cooking and Nelly dropped that Tip Drill video? Tell me what was going through your mind.
Hey, look, that was major. You know, that was, you know, and I mean, it wasn't Nelly. That's what was popping.
Before that, because, you know, Ludacris had the pussy popping.
Yeah.
That right there.
Tip Drill was one of the greatest videos of all time.
But the pussy popping set the
that
tone.
Uncut was
the
a good look.
The uncut, yeah.
I'm like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, if your kids are up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you got a problem.
Yeah.
The uncut was fire, bro. They need to bring that back. The uncut was
People been saying
fire.
that for years, but I guess, you know, you can't do. There's a lot of things we can't do from back then.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
We can't do.
That's a fact.
But Thanks to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Many things are possible now.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you.
You want to give a shout out?
Wow. Yeah, give a big shout out to, I got my man G-Ton in the building right now.
G-Ton?
Shout out G-Ton.
Johnny Walker.
He's drinking the Johnny Walker Black, so he's tight. He's a little quiet over there. Big up to Tuffy. Big up to Kev Lawrence. Big up to Crazy Sam. Big up to my daughter, Big Kim. She was first time producing. She did the You're Watching Video Music Box doc with me.
Dope.
That's a big moment. That's a big moment because it was, father-daughter thing happening there. And you look at your daughter and you like, oh wow, she's listening to what I said all the time.
She knows it.
Yeah, she was.
And that was a great moment for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
amazing.
big. That was you, and you bring you to tears, because that's like, what you say? I'm down.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's one of those moments,
I can imagine.
and she's talking the talk, and I'm like, oh wow.
She know her shit.
Yeah.
It's in the bloodline, Ralph.
That's
It's in the bloodline.
Yeah, that's
You made sure. He's like, I'm gonna put it in it.
Yeah, that's what this is. That's what it was all about. Was legacy.
Yeah.
Like they got names Rockefeller and this one and that one and Gucci and Prada and this. We need to have our names on these buildings and these places. So that's the only way to do it is to look at it like that. And if you look at it like that, then our names will be on those buildings. I wear Video Music Box, all the time. He was like, yo, you gonna wear Video Music Box? Yeah, this is me.
I need one of those, bro. I need to rock
I need one too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
No problem.
Yep.
No
every
problem.
Color.
I need that, bro.
Every color.
Rocking that shit all summer, black, blue.
Easy.
Look, I'm about to go home and give my boys a history lesson.
You know why? Because it's black owned.
Yeah.
Not saying that you gotta buy black owned. I'm not saying that. But I'm here. There's no doubt, that I'm here. When we talked, I was like, yes, absolutely. You said you had a cold too.
Yeah.
The last person that told me I got a cold, I got COVID after that.
Oh no, I wasn't.
Don't say that, Ralph.
good.
I'm sorry.
You good?
My man G was like, I think that dude is sick. We talked when you was just with. I was like, he's not that bad. Gano from Wu-Tang. I remember that.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question before we get out of here? I really want to know this. Where did the idea formulate that you were gonna do a show and put videos on it? Like where did it come from?
I watched, I listened to the radio and I was like, I was always a visual person, like into like something visual. And I was like, I used to listen to songs, this was before music videos were made. And I used to be like, damn, I could see them like in this song running down the block or surfing or whatever it was, And then we would like, maybe we can make a video out of this. And there was no video for it. And so my partner and I, Lionel, we started this company later called Classic Concept. The idea was we were gonna come up with a classic concept that's gonna go with that song. So if you had a song, I would be like, I see it like this. And we just wanted to make the visuals to it. So sometimes with Video Music Box in the early days, there was no video. We just went out and shot something in Times Square. There was the only place to go was Times Square. Like if it looked like you went somewhere. You went to Times Square.
There's a lot of stuff going on out there.
Right.
Yo.
Yeah.
And you put music to that?
And you put music to it and try to sync it up in some way that made sense according to the words. And that's what we would do. People still do it now. I'm like there's these underground dudes that I be following, and I think they're underground called Ultra or something, Ultra 7. And I follow them. And they don't have a lot of followers. I'm like the only nerdy type of dude that follows cats like that. And I'll be like, yo, this is dope, man. And people are like, why you watch this stuff? I said, because somebody's really trying to figure something out of nothing.
Yeah. I love out of nothing. And that's where it starts. That's where greatness starts.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And look what it became.
Yeah.
Yo, remember, all great things start with starting.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.